A 4,000-passenger vessel to sail into the Bahamas tomorrow. Ahead tonight, how the tourism minister is sizing up the impact of the Norwegian breakaway.
Also ahead, another phase of LPIA set to take off. A look at the newest development opening tomorrow.
And attorneys square off over the death penalty. Tonight, why Stephen Dye's sub's attorneys are fighting the sentence. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. Zns Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lynden.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keisha Adderley.
And I'm Kendino Knowles. Thanks for joining us.
Topping the news, the country's cruise line industry set to get a major boost in cruise ship arrivals. Tomorrow, Tourism Minister Obi Wolskom will welcome the Norwegian breakaway, which will make its inaugural voyage into the Bahamas. The cruise line, based in Manhattan, New York, will host 7 night cruises to the Bahamas and Florida from October through April. LaDawn Davis spoke to the Minister of Tourism about investment opportunities on tap and the impact this new cruise line will have on the Bahamas.
It's considered one of the largest cruise ship vessels in the state of New York City, and come Thursday, the Norwegian breakaway will add 4,000 new passengers to the 4 million visitors who have already experienced what the Bahamas has to offer. It's an inaugural visit Minister of Tourism Obi Wolskom believes will not only enhance our tourism product, but increase cruise ship arrivals.
We're now entering the season for cruise passengers, and so you expect to see a number of new arrivals coming to the Bahamas on new vessels. You'll see Norwegian bringing the new vessel tomorrow, but you'll also see next month Princess will have some new activity as well.
But as the list of cruise ship arrivals increase, so does the number of cruise lines seeking investment opportunities here. Minister Wolskom acknowledges that in order to create a memorable experience for our visitors, cruise lines are now inquiring about partnering with Bahamian businesses.
We've had recommendations and we've had proposals put to us. So we're looking at those now. No announcements have been made, but we're very pleased what Princess is doing. We're very pleased with what Royal Caribbean is doing on the island, what Carnival continues to do on the various islands. So it's very good. What we want to do is ensure that we get more out of it. We want more Bahamians to benefit from it. Here in the capital city in particular, we require much more tours. And so we're working with Monuments and Antiquities. They're developing something now at the fort, which is incredible. We're seeking to get some new Bahamian businessmen involved. They've come to us with some proposals. We're looking at them and we're going to introduce them to the cruise lines, and hopefully the cruise lines will adopt them. They can sell them then to the visitors, and that will mean that there'll be more visitors on the streets.
But contrary to that good news, Wolskom revealed that the recent sinkhole at the Prince George Wharf almost put a dent in cruise ship arrivals this year. However, those 4,000 passengers scheduled on the Norwegian breakaway on Thursday won't see that, as the matter is being addressed.
We're right on the brink of losing some of our cruise passengers because there was not going to be or limited space for berthing. So we've been able to fix that issue. So you're going to see a tremendous amount of work done out at the Prince George Wharf, and you're going to see in a very short period of time the closure of the festival place for some refurbishment work.
Tourism officials announced a series of activities planned for next month that will entice visitors to return to the Bahamas. LaDawn Davis, Zns Network News.
United States Senate leaders announced a deal today to end the partial government shutdown and avoid a possible default as soon as the end of this week. The news of a deal brought some relief to Wall Street as well as Washington, where the shutdown reached a 16th day, with the government poised to lose its ability to borrow more money to pay bills on Thursday. And with our #1 industry dependent on the U.S. market, Tourism Minister Obi Wolskom says it's something the government is paying close attention to.
Continuing to monitor what's going on in the United States because, don't forget, you're coming out of recession, then the sequestration, and then, of course, we have the possibility of the complete shutdown after the government shutdown. So what we're concerned about is how is that causing visitors to have second thoughts about traveling. Obviously, they have to think about it. So we're monitoring it. How it's affecting us, we'll know in the long term. We won't know immediately unless, of course, there's an absolute fallout. What we're seeing now is we're getting beyond the season of the slow periods. We're moving into November and December. We're looking forward to a great year.
Thursday, October 17th will be a red letter day for the Nassau Airport Development Company. It'll officially open the third and final terminal in its $409 million redevelopment project at the Lynden Pindling International Airport. According to officials, this milestone will augur well for Bahamians seeking jobs in the aviation industry. Our Von Albury reports.
I think people are really going to be blown away.
Phase 3 opens Thursday and was completed on time and within its $83 million budget. NAD has delivered on its mission to redevelop the Lynden Pindling International Airport within 3 phases totaling $409 million. The new spacious domestic arrivals and departure and non-U.S. international departures terminal will house local carriers, including Bahamas Air.
Our passengers won't feel clustered. There's lots for them to take in. The atmosphere is just warm, inviting, welcoming like our Bahamian people. And so we expect that they will love it just as much as we do.
We believe that we have achieved a facility that says to the customer, we appreciate your traveling with us. We wish to make your experience enjoyable, pleasant, stress-free.
Minister of Transport and Aviation, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, likes the new LPIA, especially what it means for the ease of travel for Family Island passengers.
We feel really good that when Bahamians go to Andros, Exuma, Maguana, Inagua, wherever it is, Cat Island, that they will be able to move through the airport in the same sort of standard and style that the international visitors experience.
With 606,000 square feet, LPIA has room for expansion. It is now the 4th busiest airport in the region. The redeveloped LPIA means more jobs for Bahamians at LPIA and Family Island airports.
We're talking about airport inspectors, we're talking about operators for airports and terminals in the Family Islands. We're talking about new engineering skills for redesigning and developing airports. It's out there, and if our people would take advantage of it, it's there.
The general manager of the Airport Authority, Milo Butler III, has this message for Bahamians about the redeveloped LPIA.
This is ours. Let's own it. Let's care for it. This structure is not built for just 5 years. This structure is built for decades to come. Let us take ownership of it.
And I am Von Albury, Zns Network News.
Now you're invited to join Zns TV 13 at 9 o'clock tonight for a special on the opening of Phase 3 of the Lynden Pindling International Airport. And if you miss it or aren't able to watch it tonight, it'll re-air on Thursday at 5:30 p.m.
Bahamas Air executives are denying claims that a privatization process is underway. This is after union members asserted that they were left out of the discussions. Our Janina Ferguson sat down with Managing Director Henry Woods.
I've had no discussion, have not been involved with the board or the government with any discussions on privatization of Bahamas Air.
And as Managing Director of the national flag carrier, Henry Woods says he would be one of the first to know. In fact, Woods says,
as a shock, because I'm not aware of any plan underway as regards to privatizing Bahamas Air.
But union executives representing Bahamas Air employees claim that a Chinese company is interested in purchasing that airline. Union members have insisted that a privatization process is already underway without their input. But Woods says not so fast.
I support the privatization view, if only partially, if only from the concept of strategic partnership, not fully. But that has to come someday. We can't avoid it.
While he refuted claims that Bahamas Air is under a privatization process, Managing Director Henry Woods told our Zns News team that they are looking to streamline the organization as they have been given a mandate to reduce costs by 10% on an annual basis.
Put just bluntly, that we must reduce the costs because the country cannot afford to subsidize Bahamas Air to the tune of $25 million every year. That management was considering offering early retirement packages to individuals over 55 years of age. We've done an excellent job of reducing the headcount through attrition. And it may be that that's the way we'll continue to go if we don't get much response from the early retirement effort.
About 90 employees of Bahamas Air currently fall under that category. In the meantime, he says they are working to increase revenue by introducing new routes and improve the quality of their product as they work to survive in a competitive market.
Cost of labor to Bahamas Air today is 42% of revenue. As long as our cost structure is what it is, we will remain in the hole.
Janelle Ferguson, Zns Network News.
The Bahamas signed its second technical cooperation agreement with the People's Republic of China at the House of Assembly this morning. The first agreement was penned back in 2011, worth $5 million. Today's signing stems from the summer meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping held with CARICOM leaders in Trinidad and Tobago. At that time, funds were committed for most Caribbean states for national development. Foreign Affairs and Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell signed on behalf of the Bahamas.
We're deeply appreciative of the grant, which amounts now to a total of some $13 million US. And I know the Prime Minister has a list of projects which he has allocated to this. So it is a special pleasure to be able to accept the gift and to assure you that it will be used for the betterment and development of our country.
Right Honorable Prime Minister Christie has some concrete ideas with regard to the usage of this.
我们中方呢也表示支持。
The Chinese side fully supports that.
Well, the government plans to utilize these funds to enhance several projects already in the pipeline. Foreign Affairs and Immigration Permanent Secretary Philip Miller explained that the Chinese government won't release the funds until the government submits its cost structure, which is expected to happen by month's end.
The major one is the agricultural school that is to be set up in Andros, and work is proceeding now very rapidly with that. In fact, in the Prime Minister's budget speech, he did indicate what some of those projects would be. Another one would be a school for children with special needs, and another project was going to be for the establishment of sporting facilities in some of the family islands. So we might identify one or two more.
In our first look at weather, heavy showers and thunderstorms continue to affect southeast Bahamas, but outside of our studios just now, we have just a few clouds, your temperature 82 degrees, relative humidity 66%, your winds are out of the east-northeast at 6 knots, and your barometric pressure 1,012.6 millibars. That's 29.90 inches, and it is steady. But stay tuned. Temperatures around the family of islands, travel and boating forecast is still to come.
Well, still to come, Andre Brabal goes to trial, jury selection in the case today.
And a face-off in court as lawyers fight the death sentence for murder convicts. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Helix Ultra. Performance you can see.